All righty, everyone release them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. Amen. If you be so kind now, we're going to ask you to return into the sanctuary, and we'll start with our prayer vigil. And we thank those of you who thought enough to come out and join with us. And we thank you, and I'll have a little bit more to say and once we're back into the sanctuary. Just take your time. Thank you so very much. Much appreciation to you. Israel Kason, I want to thank you.
Thank you, first of all, to God, because He enabled us to do something that people didn't believe could be done. Friday night prayer vigils in Baltimore, Maryland. Please give yourselves a big round of applause. Our Creator is well pleased with our efforts. Larry looked at me and he said, "Every Friday night?" I said, "Yeah, that's kind of how it works, Larry." The power of prayer is just a remarkable, remarkable power that so many of us don't activate. Normally we pray when we want something or need something, but we've got to learn to pray and thank God for the opportunity to pray, for the opportunity to be alive, for the opportunity to be thankful to our Creator. A very true story that I always knew that my prayers were being answered, but I really didn't understand the power of prayer until my mother was diagnosed with cancer. My brother is a doctor, so my brother went into surgery with my mother, and before the day of surgery, we assembled a group of prayer warriors in Washington, D.C., and they called themselves the Girls. I was the youngest member of the Girls. The oldest member at the time was 92 years old, a woman named Reverend Moselle J. Fuller. And Reverend Fuller was a very dramatic prayer warrior. She would fall on her knees, and sometimes she frightened me because she would demand of God what it was that we were praying about. She's like, "God, do you hear me? You've got to help Miss Hughes' mother. You can't let her die. You can't allow that cancer to take over her body." And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, is she insulting the Lord? She's telling him what he's got to do? Well, my mother went into surgery that day, and Reverend Fuller came to see me that morning, and she said, "Oh, God said it's going to be all right." And I said, "Yes, ma'am," because they had told us that my mother had stage 4 cancer. So after they did the surgery, they sent the organs that they had removed up to the lab to be tested. And my brother's standing there waiting for the results to come back, and they come back negative. My brother got very irritated and said, "There must be a mistake. You got to retest." And they sent them a second time, and they came back negative a second time. The third time, he insisted. By now, he's crying, he's hysterical. My mother is going to die on the operating table. What in the world is going on? The third time, it came back that my mother had no cancer. When my mother, in stage 4, when my mother woke up and realized that God had saved her, she asked them could they put her organs back into her body so that she could continue with her life. I fell to my knees and I thanked God, and I realized the power of prayer, because this was not a medical mistake. This was God intervening in my mother's life. And God can do anything, including end the violence in Baltimore, Maryland. We've got to remain steadfast. We've got to keep praying. But more importantly, we've got to believe. And also, most important, we've got to thank God for the opportunity to tell God what it is that we want and what we need. And a lesson that I learned from Reverend Fuller is that we don't need to be quiet about it saying, "Oh dear God, help us." We got to say, "God, we need your help, and we need it now in Baltimore, Maryland." We need for our children to be rescued. We need for our police to wake up and realize that they are not vigilantes, that they can't just do anything that they want to us. We've got to tell God to wake up our politicians and tell them that we put them in office. They must be responsive to what it is we want and what we need. We must demand what we want for the dignity and the safety of our people and our community. And with that, we must say, thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to understand that once we let you know that we are committed, you deliver.
That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all.